I want to very warmly welcome you all here today on behalf of the Coalition to Repeal the 8th Amendment. I'm Ailbhe Smyth and I convene the Coalition. Can I just ask, first of all, that you turn your ringers off on your mobiles, if you wouldn't mind. Abortion has been always on our agenda, really since the beginning of the 1980s. And indeed before that for very many women who were trekking over to Britain as soon as the 1967 Act was introduced. But at times, as we know all too well, over the past 30 or 31 years, as someone pointed out to me yesterday, it has been very high indeed on our agenda. And that is, I think, again, the case now. And indeed, just this past week has shown, I think, a turning of the tide in relation to abortion. A word, indeed, which was hardly mentioned, which never crossed the lips of our legislators. It was known in 1983 as a substantive issue, as if that was what women went to England for. They didn't. Women, we have always gone for an abortion, and we need to be able to say that loudly and clearly. And I am so pleased to see that now women are standing up in public. Many women here have done so, and women elsewhere, and particularly women who we might call high visibility women. And I particularly welcome Tara Flynn speaking at Electric Picnic last weekend, recounting her story. I say hooray for Tara. And again, just this morning, coinciding with our great day of discussion and thinking and organising and hard working, the equally wonderful Roisin Ingle, who talks about what she calls the experience. So hooray for Roisin. And by the same token, the Taoiseach, Mr. Enda Kenny, last night announcing that, well, he wouldn't be able to have a referendum unless he knew what he was going to replace it with. Well, now, indeed, well, that's partly what we're here to do today, which is to advise Mr. Enda Kenny on what needs to happen exactly so that women's needs can be met in relation to abortion, so that women can access abortion safely and legally in this country. So I do recognise, though, that the Taoiseach has recognised that there will indeed be a referendum. So while I may not be saying hooray just yet, I am acknowledging that the Taoiseach acknowledges that we will be having a referendum. So a very important piece of our work today will be to look at what we need to do. This morning we're looking at what women need. And this afternoon, as a coalition and as activists and interested and NGO groups, we'll be saying to ourselves, what do we need to do and how can we work together to make sure that when that referendum is called, we are ready to rock and ready to go, fighting fit, so that we will definitely win that referendum. And we are going to do that. So this afternoon is strategizing, action, and all of the things that we know can really bring us together to win this referendum. Because we know from the polls, and most recently from Amnesty's poll earlier this summer, that 8 in 10 Irish people believe that a change is necessary. 3/4 of Irish people do believe that fundamental change is necessary in relation to that 8th Amendment. We know that public opinion actually feels this situation can't continue. And we have had a fantastic bounce and a fantastic momentum coming from the wonderful and glorious and still celebratory Yes Equality victory earlier this summer. And I say hooray for Yes Equality. And we also know that all around the country there are hundreds and thousands of people who are willing to work with us so that we can win this campaign. We also know from the numbers of groups and organisations joining the coalition and seeking to join the coalition, that this is really happening. So if there are groups and organisations today who want to join the coalition, you are so welcome. All you have to do is say the word and you're in. It's an extremely open group. Finally, I just want to say to you that Roisin Ingle has just sent her love, respect and thanks. So there we are. Thank you, Roisin, you're a real wonder. I want to say that the coalition were very aware that our conference today is coinciding with the Welcome Refugees March or rally to mark European Day for Refugees. That rally will be happening at 2 o'clock in the Spire when we will be in workshops. But we have sent our warmest wishes and solidarity, and we will be sending our banner, and we have told them that we are definitely there in spirit, because of course this is the lack of abortion in this country is a particularly difficult and draconian and horrible, appalling issue for women whose status in this country is uncertain or completely recognised, and who are therefore in an extremely vulnerable state. So we will be sending our very warmest wishes. But now I'm going to hand over to Orla O'Connor, who kicks off the day in the chair, and very pleased indeed to have Orla chairing. I have to say that the National Women's Council has been involved as one of the co-founders of the coalition, and it is so fantastic to know that the council, which represents, I'm going to get the numbers wrong, Orla, 170 women's organisations, a huge number of organisations there, is fully in it, not just behind it, in it and part of it. And Orla is the extremely able and determined and very energetic director of the National Women's Council. You're very welcome, Orla. Thank you very much.
Thank you.